Hey friend, I'm Olivia. Welcome back to Slay the Princess. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Last time, the path I tried to go down was not the path I ended up on. Again, I made a wrong choice somewhere, but we still ended up somewhere new.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's go to the cabin.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
This will be the 5th vessel that we bring to the princess? The shifting mound?
A warning before you go any further.
So I bet we will have a bunch of things to do after.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin. So we're going to take the pristine blade this time.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
We're going to do everything we can.
The air is stale and
not
musty,
to use it,
and the floor and walls are painted
except
in a
dropping
fine layer of
I
dust.
think.
The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Alright, we can take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
We're not going to slay the princess. It's fine.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
We're gonna
She
be
sounds
super
dangerous.
nice.
It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
No. What? No way, why would you even think that? Nuh-uh.
Then drop the knife.
Also nuh-uh.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Let's not.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are
Are
you
you scared of me?
scared of me?
Because you
should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Are you sure she's not armed?
I'm positive. I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
If it comes down to it, I'll drop the blade if I have to.
Then I'm not talking to you. Well, I guess we are.
For the love of everything, just slay her already.
No.
Or drop the blade. Do something.
No.
You stare at the princess, squinting fiercely. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you? You'll have to blink eventually. Just make a choice.
Alright, I'll drop the blade.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed.
I have no idea where this is going to go.
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
I have my reasons. Do you think I'd come down here just to kill someone without knowing why? That'd be ridiculous.
And yet you hesitated the moment you saw me. And you dropped your knife. If killing me was really that important, you'd have a little more gumption, don't you think? So, someone put you up to this, right? And whoever it is, it's probably the same someone who shoved me into this dark pit and chained me to a wall.
Yeah, probably.
That's a fair question. Who chained her in this basement, and if she's so dangerous, how did they manage to trap her? And why have we been left to do their dirty work? Don't give away the game, and don't let her distract you. That's exactly what she wants.
I'm right, aren't I? So who put you up to this?
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Worth noting, we never get a straight answer out of the narrator either. Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
I asked you first.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh? Have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
We're going to get her out of here.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
We're
You
going
walk
to
up to the
save the
chains
princess.
binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around up there somewhere. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free?
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Let's try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
The narrator's so mean.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
They did.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Can't we use it on the shackle or something? Maybe that's
You
a weak
won't
spot.
like what happens if you do that.
Let's save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive,
but the chain.
unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No,
Let's go.
we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
The narrator is abusing his power.
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
No.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
We have to warn her.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive!
There is no life if we slay the princess.
The blade! Move the blade!
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it?
At least we didn't
I'm
suffer
afraid
this
it
time.
is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Anything to make you mad, Mr. Narrator. Okay, so far so good. I think this was the right path.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
We can proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink.
What?
Did you just say wink out loud? No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Skeptic voice is confusing.
The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Approach the mirror.
Walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
It's a mirror.
It's a mirror.
At least there'll be a mirror.
Or at least it'll
wipe
be
off
a
the
mirror
grime.
once we wipe off that layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
Do we take the blade or not? I think we take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It will
That
be
could be a
difficult to slay
mistake.
the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good idea. Much better to be armed than to go in with blind hope alone.
I mean, just because we have the blade doesn't mean we need to use it. Right?
The door to the basement
Ooh,
creaks
fancy.
open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the
Traffic
first?
light? That's what I asked.
You walk down the
Oh,
stairs
dear.
and lock eyes with the princess. She
An
looks
extra
up at
one.
you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap.
Oh, so
Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
I wasn't gonna do that. Let's sit with her.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
Sensible.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Sure.
You do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
My intentions? What do you mean? I've been here before. Am I the only one who remembers that? What happened after I died last time? That other chain on the wall, who was it for? What would you have me do? I think I'm just going to leave you here, actually. You're not much of a threat to anyone locked up like that. Bye. My intentions? What do you mean?
Yes, your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
I don't think she is.
Or does she think she'd survive a beheading?
Or would she rather not survive this experience?
You're right. Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her.
Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
No. I have been here before. Am I the only one that remembers that?
Are we acknowledging that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But yeah, I remember.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things.
It's complicated things how, exactly?
Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion.
Well, if we're keeping score, this would be princess number 10? At least? Because, but then there's like all the different princesses from the different chapters. And sometimes we only got 2 chapters, sometimes we got 1,000,000. So who knows how many princesses it's been at this point.
The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency.
A contingency for what?
For failure, isn't that what contingencies are usually for?
For you failing.
Yeah.
Obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just good luck.
Is the narrator gonna shut up?
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably.
Maybe not.
I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative.
That's pathetic.
I never said I wasn't.
Huh. That seems pretty honest from the narrator, really.
I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that.
The narrator knows he's not the first version of himself. The narrator knows that he's an echo of a deceased person.
Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky, so don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright?
Moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark?
The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that is too much. Your success hinges on you having imperfect information. For the sake of the entire world, you need to accept that.
How does he know that?
I won't.
Just give it a rest, this isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming.
I'm sorry. The voices, you know. What happened after I died last time?
Nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. More of them. And now you're back.
Is that really all she knows?
It's not like we have much of a clue about how things work. And she's probably even more in the dark than we are.
I would say so.
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something. I'm not.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how.
Gosh, the skeptic makes a lot of sense. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That other chain on the wall. Who is it for?
I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I guess you'd have company then.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
World schmeld. Inspect the shackle. What would you have me do?
Let me borrow that knife.
Why?
Don't worry, you'll get it back.
That's ominous.
It is.
But she seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing.
That doesn't make it a good
Oh,
plan.
please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear a voice of reason, it would obviously be unwise to give away your only weapon.
Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
There's nothing she can do with the knife while she's chained up like that. That is
So,
bad
what should
for
we
us.
do?
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world.
She can't escape.
And she might use it to kill you.
She can't reach us to kill us.
That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none.
The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. And whatever she has planned could do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
No, I don't think that's right. I really want to inspect the shackle, but I don't want to get stuck down here. Let's see. I'm not giving you a weapon in case you've forgotten. You killed me with it last time. That's true. I can cut you out of here. I'm not giving you the weapon. Okay, I'm trusting you, and we give her the knife. If you want to leave, I'm going to be the one with the weapon. Deal with it. I think I'm just going to leave you here. Oh no, we can't do that. What happens if we inspect the shackle?
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
And why is that?
Do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you want to be stuck here like she is?
I didn't say I was going to try it on. I was just going to look at it.
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it?
I don't know. Maybe it will.
Well, then we won't put our wrist
He
in it.
doesn't want us to look at it. That's all the reason we need to investigate.
But what if he's telling the truth?
He isn't.
I am.
I did save it, so we can always go back and try a different option.
Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. The princess watches you with faux disinterest as you inspect it, though she can't fully hide her curiosity. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next.
Well, we don't have to try it on. We're just looking at
What
it.
is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Is it bad? Yes, it's bad.
Come out and say it then. You're just wasting time.
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp, as if pulled by some odd magnetism.
Huh.
Before you can so much as blink, it practically leaps from your hands, snapping around your neck.
Damn.
And, as if your situation weren't bad enough, the same magnetism repels your blade, which is flung from your hand and sent skittering across the floor of the basement. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
Seems that way.
Yes.
Huh. Well, that's where that path leads. This is not the path I want, though. So, let's rewind. And I have magically, with the power of save scumming, rewound time. We are not locked to in the chain shackle thing. So we are going to give her the blade. We are going to trust her. We tried to trust her last time. We're gonna try again.
Slide it over.
No, absolutely not. I am not letting you hand your only weapon over to the world-ending princess. Until you come up with any other idea, like, say, I don't know, doing your job and slaying her, you remain rigidly in place.
You tried this last time. Do you want to know how it went for you?
Oh, I remember. She killed us, which, by your estimation, ended the world, right? Oh, Rory tried to take over your body.
Exactly. If I were you, I wouldn't be too keen on repeating your mistake. Hell, we could even force your hand and do it ourselves. I'm not afraid of dying again. Are you?
Interesting.
A little. I think you got your point across. Fine. You slide the blade across the floor. The princess maintains unsettling eye contact as she reaches down to pick it up.
Thanks.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly as she raises the blade to her throat.
Oh no!
What is she doing?
She's... Yeah.
She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
I was trying to save you.
No.
Can't we stop her?
You close your eyes. That doesn't stop you from hearing every grisly detail. The splitting of skin, the wet mulching of severed veins, the grinding of metal against bone. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that?
Huh. So that's her play.
Killing herself?
We don't know that she's dead yet. We're not even watching it happen. She could just be faking those sounds.
And then, finally, you hear a snap and an uneasy silence. There is a slow and fleshy tear. Hard to fake that. This is worse than watching.
And yet our eyes are still closed.
Finally, there's the soft thud of something roughly head-sized bouncing against the floor, and the clattering of chains as they drop along with it. I think you can open your eyes now. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
She didn't want to live like
The
that.
princess's eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations! You saved the world.
Huh. So I guess that's it. What a way to go. But she is gone, isn't she?
I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward.
Now hold on, she's dead. So what's the rush? What's your angle?
I don't have an angle. I'm just looking forward to putting all this behind us. I'm sure you can understand that.
The narrator's still up
Look,
to something.
I'm just not ready to put my guard down. It's best to keep sharp. She wouldn't have done all that without some kind of reason. She's left us with this dangling thread, and I need to know why.
Maybe we should have asked why before she decapitate
You're just
herself.
wasting your energy. The danger has passed, and now we can all relax and enjoy your reward.
Of oblivion. We can take the princess with us, or we can just leave. Let's just leave.
Fine. But if we're leaving, then we're taking the blade. I feel exposed without it.
With your work done, you remove the blade from the princess's corpse and make your way back upstairs, closing the door to the basement behind you. You can think of it as sealing yourself off from an unpleasant chapter of your life. It's all uphill from here.
The princess was right, we did get the blade back.
The windows. Do you see that? We used to be able to see the outside world from up here, but now it's just empty.
It's the strings.
The door. Check the door.
It's this stuff.
You open the cabin
Oblivion.
door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
There is no world.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is nothing at all. Where a lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away.
You don't have to act surprised. We could see this vast emptiness through the windows.
But if everything's gone, does that mean we're not gonna get our reward?
Our reward is oblivion.
This is your reward. An eternity of bliss, if you'll have it. And I suggest that you have it.
This is worse than death.
Okay. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
Like hell it is.
This is bull.
What's done is done. And there's no going back now. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
Decades? No, it can't be decades. We can't go along with this. We can't let him win.
Didn't you hear the narrator? I'm happy. We're happy. What do you suggest then? I don't want to die again. I didn't like dying last time. I'm going to accept my reward now. I know. I'm pretty happy. I'm going to accept my reward now. What do you suggest then?
We still have a blade. Let's use it on ourselves and start over.
He's suggesting you kill yourself. You shouldn't kill yourself when you have an eternity of bliss right in front of you.
This isn't bliss. This is oblivion. This isn't living.
You goddamn spiteful bastard. Are you really going to turn down immortality itself just to make me lose?
What goes immortality? Like this.
Why should it matter if we die at this point? Haven't you already gotten what you want?
Hey, that's a really good point. I didn't think of that.
I don't have to answer that.
That's all we needed to hear.
Because when we die, it resets.
You raise the blade, then drive it into your heart. You collapse to the floor, everything goes dark, and you die. You're a genocidal maniac, you know that, right?
I beg to differ.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I don't like that I agree with a skeptic more than not. The cage? Okay.
You're on a path in the wood. Chains everywhere. This is different. This is new. It's worse is what it is.
We're finally starting to see reality for what it is. This place is a prison, and she's not the only inmate.
You're acting like reality is this static thing. But this world is constantly changing around us. How can you be so sure that you aren't breathing the prison into existence? That by feeling the walls closing in on you, that's exactly what they do.
Well, you see, reality isn't static. Reality is ever-changing because of people's choices and actions and consequences of those things. And this change is a consequence of our previous choices. Because the princess and the player and this world are all kind of part of the same thing, I think.
What a crock of pretentious bullshit. Reality is as solid as the ground beneath our feet. And if we just examine it, if we apply enough scientific rigor, if we think hard enough, we'll find a way out of here for good. Don't you see? We're already making progress. And what if looking at it is enough to make it change? Where does that leave us?
It leaves you exactly where you are right now, and presumably exactly where you've been before. I'll spare you my full introduction, since you've clearly already heard it at least once, but I would like to remind you that the people in my world are living, breathing, suffering entities, and not pawns for you to sacrifice in pursuit of some vague truth.
Should we talk about how... Oh yeah, we do still have the blade. You can see it on the cursor.
Huh. I hadn't actually noticed.
Oh, dang it.
Holding it's starting to feel natural, isn't it?
Of course it feels natural. We've had it with us every time. We've made it part of us. Don't be weird. It's just a tool, not some mystical object. Though starting with it feels like an indication that we're on the right track.
I don't know about that.
This is strange. You're not supposed to start with the blade. It says right here that you're supposed to find it at the cabin. Oh well, I suppose that doesn't make much sense anyway. It's better if you start with a weapon, so this is probably for the best.
Does the narrator have a script to read? Ooh, we can throw it away. We can try to leave. I don't know what to do. I don't know if any of these choices matter. Well, all the choices matter, but I don't know if we've ended up in the place that I wanted to be in.
She... what? Why would she ever do that? She's not supposed to be suicidal. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. More importantly, if she did cut her own head off, why are you here? You shouldn't have died. You should be enjoying your reward.
It wasn't very enjoyable.
We killed ourselves, obviously. You were insisting that we were happy, but we knew we weren't. We could see right through you. Yeah, what he said. We weren't about to be stuck somewhere being fed non-stop bullshit forever. We want answers. We weren't gonna find them in your fake little paradise.
It wasn't a paradise.
There are no answers to find. If she was dead, then that was it. That was the solution. All you managed to do was reset the board. And you put the pieces back all wrong while you were at it. This is probably worse for you, if I had to guess.
Ha! So there is a board.
Well, what's done is done and you're here now. There's no use arguing. Just get to the cabin and settle this. Try not to kill yourself this time.
What happens if we throw the blade away? I have made a save so we can test what happens.
Are you serious? The blade is your implement. You're going to need it if you want to do things right. We can't toss it. It's the only way we can protect ourselves. It's an extension of us, and we shouldn't go around throwing our pieces away.
He's right. Weird, but right. Don't you dare.
Do it. Toss the
Are
blade.
you even listening to me? Does my opinion count for nothing? We're never getting out of here if you don't listen. I'm intervening. We're not tossing the blade.
I'm in charge and I say we're tossing the blade. You had your chance last time. We also how that worked out for us.
Too bad. This is a mutiny.
Oh no.
Hey, you can't just do that. We're not supposed to be able to make our own decisions. What if I stop you? Maybe I can make choices too.
Good luck with that. I've got backup this time, haven't I?
Yeah, alliance of convenience. We're not throwing it away. It's important. Hey, what are you... Are you serious? That's no fair. Let me go.
Sorry, has to be done.
Fine, I guess we're keeping it.
Great. Was that so hard? We need to keep our wits sharp.
Yes, you've made the right choice. The blade is the only control we have in this world. Yes, great. Now, will you get to the cabin already? In case you've forgotten, the princess, the fate of the entire world, etc., etc.
No way out but through. Let's go see her.
You stand at the edge of a cliff. An
golly.
abyss yawns beneath you, empty and endless. The only path forward, a rusted metal bridge. The cabin looms on its far side. I think you already know what waits for you within. It's like the world itself doesn't want us to reach her.
There's nothing to find out here. Time to check in with the missus.
I'm going to pretend you didn't just call her that.
Let's proceed to the cabin.
Every surface of the cabin is draped in chains, the air filled with the mock birdsong of metallic clinks. Where there should be walls, you can see only endless ropes of metal, with hooks dangling from their ends. A fitting cage for a monster destined to end the world. There's nothing for you to do but step forward into the basement. You already have your weapon. Your objective awaits.
How about the mirror, dude?
Huh. That mirror's back again. Why?
What mirror? There is no mirror. The only thing of note here is the door to the basement.
I still can't tell if the narrator really can't see that mirror, or if he's not allowed to tell us about the
Clearly
mirror.
serves some purpose, but what? Is there some...
Or is it a distraction? Something meant to confuse us?
Could be a representation of the narrator in this place. In the endings, we see the narrator in a mirror.
Can we please stop talking about the mirror? I'd rather not spend more time in this room than I have to. It's creepy.
It's just some chains.
You step out onto the floor. Or what should have been a floor. Should have been? Yes, unfortunately. You realise too late that there is no floor beneath the metal. There is only a loose web of chains suspended over some unseen space. An unseen space that you are now rapidly plummeting through.
Oh, that's probably gonna hurt.
Nothing's solid here, is it? It's all just a shifting mass waiting for us to drop our guard. Your fall is suddenly, painfully halted as rusty chains pull taut against your skin, their hooks digging into your muscle.
Ouch.
You find yourself suspended in what appears to be a vast, dark space. The glinting of yet more chains merely hinting at its full dimensions. You dangle a few feet off the bare concrete floor. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favour.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
As your eyes adjust to your new surroundings, you make out a figure standing in the gloom, obscured in shadow. She watches you with the stillness of the grave.
Easy now. We don't know what sort of situation we're dealing with. We should let her make the first move. Let observation give us an advantage.
Hello? Are you mad at me? So you came back too? Look, I'm sorry about what happened last time. I'm supposed to be sorry, right? Why the hell did you cut off your head? Oh. I want to ask the questions, but she doesn't have a head. I don't think she can answer them. Let's wait.
The princess takes a slow step forward. As she does so, The heavy chains shift, tightening and tearing at your flesh, your joints screaming in agony as the rusted hooks dig deeper. Stars dance in your eyes as the chain wrapped around your neck threatens to choke you.
Oh, she does have her head.
As your vision comes
there
back
it
into
is.
focus, your eyes fall on the body of the princess, finally emerged from the shadows. The body of the princess is a weird way to describe a person. It's only accurate. The form in front of you is a body, draped in raiments of chains, her head dragging along behind her in an iron cage. The head stares up at you but says nothing, and the chains squeeze ever tighter.
You cut off your own head last time. You can't be mad at me about that. What is your problem with me? I only tried to help you. What happened to you?
Nothing happened. I think I've always been like this. Outside of everything. A helpless observer to the things that are done to me. The only difference is that my eyes are finally open.
The body takes another step towards you, the chains around you tightening, the hooks boring deeper into your flesh. They constrict dangerously around your throat. You find it harder to breathe.
I don't think she's happy you're here. But what do I know? I'm just a set of eyes and ears. I don't make choices. At least not any that matter.
I don't want to die like this. I don't want to die like this. Somebody do something before she kills us. Please. We're stuck here. What are any of us supposed to do? Reason with her? I don't think she's acting rationally. I think she's lost it. This was all doomed from the start, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. No, this is my fault. I haven't done anything to you except give you my weapon twice.
And when the time comes, you'll give it to me again. And then she'll do something horrible with it. I wonder what it'll be this time. Everything we witness is just another shade of the same endless cycle. I wake up in chains.
The body steps forward. Your bindings tighten again.
You come to me, knife in hand.
The body steps forward. The pressure on your limbs is becoming unbearable.
You give me your implement.
The pressure is finally too much. Your fist unfolds as your joints swell with trapped blood and your pristine blade tumbles helplessly to the ground.
I cut myself free.
She's not insane, is she? No, she's just right. It's all been the same. The whole time, it's all been the same. We never had a say.
I didn't want to take the knife with me. I was forced to. Please just stop walking forward. I'm going to die if you don't stop.
We're both going to die. And dying won't stop us from doing this again. And again. And again. It would be so much easier if you just gave in with me.
She steps forward yet again, and the chains dig into you, your nerves screaming, your heart pounding, your lungs desperate for air. I don't think we can hold on to you much longer. How many times will we have to do this?
A few.
This is all getting so predictable, isn't it? Pop.
You're falling. The world is spinning. And then you hit the ground. Your body light in a way that is sickeningly wrong, and roll to a stop. The sound of rattling chains and a heavy thud as the rest of what was once you falls to the ground somewhere nearby. You are unable to take action, unable to defend yourself, unable to even look around as the princess's body steps towards you. One slow, rhythmic step after another. It stoops down to pick you up, and then a shadow raises behind the body, blade glinting. What?
And now, the cut.
It strikes, and it strikes true. The body drops its cage in pain. They descend on each other in a maelstrom of chains and hooks and feathers and blood, fighting their way deeper into the shadows, until all you're left to witness are the sounds of violence.
See? You only ever thought you were in control. Isn't it so much nicer to let go?
I didn't let go, you ripped my head off. What are we supposed to do now? You didn't cut yourself free. My body is still one with the knife. Doesn't that mean that this is different? Doesn't it mean I broke your pattern? This isn't nicer, I'm a severed head. I thought that would be the end of me. I guess this isn't so bad.
And what's wrong with that? It's really not that different from how it's always been. Just watching things play out. It's who we are. Only now, we can be honest with ourselves.
And so you and the princess watch as your bodies weave in and out of the shadows, performing their lethal dance.
Look at us go. Aren't we beautiful?
But the chains are pretty neat, how they look like a ribcage. The movement is gorgeous, primal, uninhibited. Steel clashing against steel, and flesh rolling off of flesh.
It's all going to come to a head soon.
No, the heads are on the floor.
Head.
Yeah. And at last, the climax plays out. Your body, wreathed in chains and shadows, makes its final move. But so does hers. Chain shatters spine and blade pierces heart.
I guess I'll see you next time.
Both hers and yours collapse, their dance complete. Blood drips from the princess's mouth and she coughs.
It's cold. But that's always been us, hasn't it? Cold isn't bad.
Oh, that's our wing. You really are a bird. You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns. You approach the mirror. You are nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image and the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. I have to try and remember what questions we asked the narrator last time. We have a limit. What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Others like you. You've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon, and then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Do you have anything to say for yourself? For all this hubris?
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live? I don't like that question. I think people deserve to live in general.
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
If you made me, then what am I? I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I?
You were either going to have seen all this, or you weren't going to have seen all this. This is worse, but you still have an opportunity to save the world. You can still slay her.
If you want me to slay her, I need to know what she actually is.
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Like I said, this isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
If she's capable of becoming whatever people believe her to be, can't I just will her into something small?
As you are now, you won't be able to will her into anything. You don't work the way a living being does. Not anymore. And as you were before, you couldn't be trusted with the knowledge of what she is. No one could be trusted with that knowledge. Intrusive thoughts have a way of creeping in and ruining everything. It's why I had to die.
Why would you want me to destroy the concept of transformation?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, She must be destroyed.
But without challenge, where is the growth? If I destroy her, how is that existence any better than death? Or even different from death at all? Honestly, it feels worse.
When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
Nobody wants anything.
I'm only delusional if I'm wrong. But I'm not wrong. I can't be wrong.
You're not alive. You don't have the capacity to challenge me. I don't know what we're gonna do. Let's lie.
Are you lying? I can't tell. But I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with a newfound clarity. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Well, this was not what I expected, but okay.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I am the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Last time I got to this part, I didn't go with her, but I also didn't slay her. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? To Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them led to this moment? Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions. I need answers before I can make a choice.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach. And you cannot rationalize that which defies logic.
I could try.
But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you,
This is not what I
then
wanted.
so be it. Fear is a chain around the neck and a needle in the eye. It was fear that made our prison, and it was fear that told the lie that our spirits were not free to choose. But together, we left it all behind, and found a world free of burdens. We found the beauty in accepting our dance. This construct is a machine of fear. It has no place in our divine hearts. Shatter it. Leave with me.
Why would I do that? No, I won't.
What you mistake for lecture is merely observation. I only want to help you. You can vainly struggle against me, or you can follow the rhythm of our movement and find our freedom. You are nothing, a black hole of self-loathing fed by the matter of your restless thoughts, a dog blind to its leash. But there is no light without the dark. When I proclaimed my godhood and offered you a place at my side, you gladly became the instrument of my new creation. Only with both of us is there a future to look towards. It is hope that carves meaning into being.
We will continue to reject.
If my words feel meaningless, it's because words are meaningless. If it feels as though I lecture you from above, it is merely because you have refused to climb after me and find where you belong.
There is no hope without struggle or challenge. Because if you do not have hardships, you have no reason to need hope.
You are divine. Pray for something bigger than you that stalks and slinks in shadows. Within, you are tightly bound and choke on heavy air as acid burns its way into your pores. A nest of things devouring within things devouring.
That's us.
But even when dissolved, you gifted me a life. Perhaps it was fear that drove you. Perhaps it was compassion. But the outcome of an act matters more than its intentions. There's a natural order to the cycle of things sustaining things. A world without sustenance is a world without relationships. And it is our relationships that give us form and substance. The only universal truth is that there are no universal truths. There is only you and me, existing in relation to the other. And I will not stop our dance until you understand. A trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move, and yet we both don't, for each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. I move and you react, and both of us break the other. But broken is only a moment in time. To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow?
That is a good point, but I'm going to continue. Oh. Of the 4 options, we're going to continue with this one.
They are mere fragments of a whole. They bought into delusion because none of them were able to see past themselves.
As the clash between you abates, the princess relaxes. Smiling from a distance, the respite is welcome.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
Oh, we have options. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be... there has to be something else. It can't be this. I won't kill you, but I won't let you free. You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you. No, that's not how that works. I guess we either get to accept what she says, or we get to slay the princess. I was told that there was enough of you in me to preserve meaning in existence. So I'm going to trust that that's true.
Then try to destroy me if you can. But I will not yield easily to your delusion.
You don't have to face her alone.
Hero! I thought you died whenever I looked in the mirror.
I don't think that's wrong, but I'm not sure it's right either. But we can worry about all that later. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's
I don't want to
relentless,
dance
isn't
with
she?
you.
Let's make this quick.
I'm ready.
Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it?
It's all a bit weird.
Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place.
What are you doing here?
Oh, you made it here too? We never really got to talk to her, did we? This one, I mean.
Is it just the 3 of us then?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
And I've been here since you left me here. No hard feelings, I'm just glad you're back to see this through.
If the offer still stands, you could describe things.
Of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's not really a cabin, is it? It's that terrifying blend of everything. Only it doesn't feel so terrifying anymore. It's still shaped like a cabin, it's just different in places. There's still walls, a door to the basement, a table, that knife. Windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really included the windows in his cabin descriptions, did he?
No, he didn't.
I always thought they were implied. He never mentioned the mirror either, but that didn't mean he implied it was there. It's gone, though. I think it did whatever it needed to do. And I know I've already mentioned it, but if we want to see this through, we're going to need that blade. That's probably for the best. It's always seems to give us more things we can do, right? So, you're not going to suggest we throw it out the window? No, we've been through too much for that. And he's gone, so there's no one left to mess with but ourselves. You've gotten serious.
Yeah.
Besides, what's the third beat? It isn't funny if I suggest that twice, especially since you never took me up on it last time. There's the guy I know.
We can still throw the blade out the window. But let's not. Let's go to the basement.
Those winding stairs again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice? Yeah, it was a real mess. Stopped being fun pretty quick.
It's okay. You can come down. The stairs won't bite. Not this time. Let's talk one last time before you kill us, if that's still what you want to do.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though. At least somebody here feels put together.
Let's continue down.
And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart.
How convenient.
Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
Even after everything you've seen, and all the lives we've lived together, you still want to kill us. The Echo really got his hooks into you. Unless you have your own reasons for wanting us dead?
Oh. I hate slaying the princess. I don't want to hurt anyone. We're collecting an ending, that's all it is.
There's no need to apologize. We are what we are, and this is in your nature. Even through everything, through all the worlds we've seen and experienced, through all the lives we've known and lost, we could never imagine a world without you and us. It doesn't feel possible.
That's because you're part of us.
Despite it all, we've always loved you. We hope you don't regret what comes next.
I don't know what comes next. You blink, and the princess is gone. All you have left of her is a small melancholic weight that sits at the border of your heart. The tear was rough. You carry part of what should be her, and she carried part of what should be you. Things won't be now as they were then, but they aren't nothing either.
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
No, she's not. A small part of her is with us.
Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter, we don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going. That's right. We've got a whole world to see.
We won't see the world. You leave the basement behind. There's no world out there for us. Then the stairs. And then you leave the cabin itself.
It's quiet here. Yeah, there's not a lot for us to do, is there?
The path and the woods outside are an empty canvas. But there's even more to see beyond this place. The fruits of your labor. A world free from death. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs, you once couldn't fathom. Everything here is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and beyond an agonizing tension, an infinite plane, and bound in an agonizing tension to an infinite plane, to a finite plane. Gosh darn. You feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
Come on now. It shouldn't be that hard to break out of here. We're some sort of god, aren't we? He's gone. She's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
Open your heart and bear witness to your new kingdom. All at once, the unyielding tension gives way. And then the shattering. You are free. And before you lies the endless expanse of absolute reality. A new absolute reality. One forged by your will and by a long and arduous cycle of bloodshed that has stained your hands countless times over. But there will be no more bloodshed in this new world.
It's finally over, isn't it? But all of us are still here. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there.
Absolute reality. Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
The whispering and the coercion and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped. I could get used to this. Well, boys, how does it feel? We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now. Welcome back, everyone. It's great to see you all again. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem. We can do that, yeah? Yeah. We can do that.
And I guess that's the end. Or one of the endings, I suppose. This one took quite a while. This video. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of our gratitude, here's a track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by pressing H. And with that, I'm going to leave this here. Next time, I will go through and see what... Well, before next time, I will go through and see what princesses we've collected and try to make a new plan to get different princesses next time. But most of my plans did not work. So stay tuned for chaos. Once again, I am Alovia, and this is Slay the Princess. And until next time, have a safe journey.